Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, I want to thank you guys for praying for me last night. Last night I was at a speed dating event, if you could believe it, and just before the event had started, I had recorded a very quick prayer request. I sang the bum 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 jingle, and I asked for some prayers. I only got one Peter dislike on that video, but I matched five girls out of the eight. So hopefully something good will come of it. Today I'm going to go to a church service. I had discovered an Asian cultural church nearby, and I was there last week. There's a girl I'm hoping to make a move on. I have to make a decision though. I'm thinking of making a move either right after service today or next week after the service. They have a Super Bowl party. I could make the move there as well. Uh, okay, so pray for that by leaving a dislike. Let's sing it again, and I'll talk about something that's been happening lately. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So a miracle has been happening lately. My grandmother passed away a little bit under 2 months ago now. And so I was at her funeral, obviously. While I was there, I was kind of embarrassed because all of my cousins were there. My younger brother was there, and most of them were married and had kids. My brother's not married yet, but I think he's in a committed relationship with a girl. And my brother's considerably younger than me too. And three of my cousins had kids, and I just felt embarrassed out of my mind. And so I asked my grandmother to go talk to Mary Curry when she makes it to the other side to see if Mary Curry would set me up on a blind date. My grandmother and Mary Curry coexisted here on Earth for 6 months, and so I thought they could beat at the right wavelength. Well, almost immediately, I got a lot of connections as a result of that. First, I met a girl over in Taiwan and had a good time. And to the point that when she got off the train to go home, I felt like part of me disappeared. And then I came back to the United States. And having such a good time, can't even remember. I can't even remember what I've been doing. I met a distant cousin of Pierre Curry, a French girl. Didn't get very far with her, but it gave me a number of inspirations. And then finally, a couple weeks ago, I was asking people to swipe left, as a little bit of a diversion, to see what would happen. And before I knew it, I met a girl who thought that was really creative, that somebody could think outside the box. Unfortunately, she lives in Houston, Texas. I'll be taking a trip there. I kind of do. One of my resolutions this year was to have a few regular check-ins like that to clear my head. So I'm going to be going to Houston anyway and see how things go there. And then that takes us to last night's event. Actually, there was something else going on too. While I was in Taiwan and clearing my head, I came to realize that there were so many missed opportunities these last 3 years. You got to remember what has been going on in my life in the last 3 years. I began my art career. Also, I had a number of toxic jobs and trying to work my way around that. Right now, I teach at some two different community colleges. And part of the reason I chose to teach at two different community colleges, plus my art career, plus a bunch of other side gigs that I do from time to time. I don't want any of those jobs to have too big a sway in my life. What do I mean by that? Well, 5 years ago, I was teaching at a technical institute, right, Washington Technology Institute, but that was my only source of income, or at least the biggest source of income, right? And anytime the wind blew in the wrong direction at the job, it created a lot of tension for me, right? It could be something that wasn't even my fault. My boss had some domestic disagreements. He, his favorite sports team just lost. Um, he was a big fan of Taylor Swift, right? God forbid if Travis were to leave Taylor, he'd be messed up, right? And wins like that, some of them not even my fault, right? Or at work, maybe my colleague messes up, right? Um, Winds like that would weigh heavily on me, right? They would be a tornado every time they came, and it's just too much, right? Now at Glendale Community College, does my boss have quirks like that? Sure, she does, but it's one job out of three, and I can mourn with her. I can actually be objective with it, right? Rather than worry about where my next meal is coming from. Right, and so. But unfortunately, none of that comes for free, right? I do have three sources of income, but now I'm spread out much more thinner than I'd like to be. It really sucks. It really sucks. There's really a no-win situation there. Uh, I, it's just too bad that humans are so emotional, right? I would love to have one job and not have to have all these wins disturb me, right? Uh, okay, and so as a result, I missed out on a number of opportunities. 3 years ago, when I first got to Phoenix, I there was a girl that I wanted to make a move on. Unfortunately, one day while talking to her, she made a reference to her boyfriend. Just a very casual, innocent reference. We were talking about if she would like to come to a so and so event, and she said, "Oh, I'm seeing my boyfriend," something to that effect. And my heart sank when I heard it, and so I didn't make the move on her. Not long after that, she moved away anyway. Just the other night, we're talking, and she was complaining about toxic relationships that she had been in, two of them. And I discovered that the boyfriend she had referenced 3 years earlier was one of them. And I was so disappointed at myself for not asking her out at the point. And I told her I'm so sorry. I feel guilt for not asking you out. Did you realize that I had a crush on you? And she did. And I asked her, well, just out of curiosity, we can't go back to 3 years ago, but just out of curiosity, had I asked you how hard would it have been for me to steal you from your boyfriend back then? And she said, honestly, not very hard. And I was just heartbroken. And that was only one missed opportunity out of dozens these last couple of years. And also something else interesting happened. I've been telling you guys about asking Mary Curry to set me up on a blind date. Now, the girl from Texas, when I looked up, she had posted some pictures of a birthday party she had, and I discovered she was born almost exactly to the day, 100 years from when, on the 100-year anniversary of Mary Curry discovering radium 226. And then this girl that I missed the opportunity on, who's now living across the country, I discovered was born almost to the day, 100-year anniversary of when Pierre and Mary Curry got married. And so it almost seems like Mary Curry's talking to me. See, what do we have so far? We got the girl from France. She was one of the students at the community colleges, but we did have an afternoon together playing video games. That was good. And then we have another girl that I met at a meetup group. She's going to set me up with her sister. They're both cousins of Mary Curry. And then we have the girl in Texas who was born on the 100-year anniversary of Mary Curry discovering radium. And now this girl that I missed the opportunity on, she was born on the near the 100-year anniversary of Pierre and Mary Curry getting married. So it's too much of a coincidence, right? I really do think that the blessing has really helped. Hopefully, this summer I'll get to visit the statue of Mary Curry in Warsaw. I hope to decorate her statue with a bunch of jewelry that she could take to continue her research. I'll get to that one soon. So please continue to pray for me. Um, all right, so I'm gonna be traveling to Houston in 2 weeks. Pray for some good stuff there. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum